Trust the Profits, it's a formula here, and I'm going to be capping the card for Gulfstream this weekend. Not Colonial Downs. After the Oaks, after the Virginia Derby, wasn't as enthused with that card, and I do like going down to Gulfstream. I think been doing pretty well there lately, so was thinking, okay, well, if I'm doing well there, I should probably continue doing it, and hopefully I'm not jinxing it. Tap on your wood there. Before we go down to Gulfstream, let's take a look back at last week and see how I did. I've got 5 wins on the left. Let me get rid of the scroll there so you guys can see the whole thing there. 5 wins on the left, with a lot of second and third place finishes as well. So the left side was looking pretty good in terms of in the money. On the right side, got a couple wins at the very bottom there with 3 scratches out of those 12 races. I think both sides did pay for their costs as well. Once you remove the scratches out of there, that's 9 races on that side, 12 races on that side. Do the math. I think positive ROI on both sides, which is looking pretty good. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed Tampa Bay Downs. I know I sure did. But let's move on to this week, tomorrow's races. Getting this video out late, but gonna have some fun doing it. Let's start race 1. Go ahead and blow that up as much as possible. I will. Ooh, yeah. Let me exit my full screen mode here and remind you guys that if you do want to get these in full screen, if you do want to get these pretty much daily, I'm going to send out 2 this weekend. The tip sheets are available at the link shown here at payhip.com/trust the profits. Trust the profits. You can get our tip sheets there for a monthly fee. So let's move on to race 1 here. Let's talk through race 1. It is a 8 furlong maiden special weight, 94K purse. Pace setter here, I've got it as the number 1 horse, Radical Rhetoric. My safe play, though, I am going a little bit chalky here with the safe play, as you often do with the safe play. Tiger 24, 9-5 odds. Came in second at this same level last time out, expecting a little bit of an improvement here. Junior Alvarado's second time on the horse. So you can understand why this one is going in as the chalk. Now, we're going maiden special weight here, so you're going to get a few firsters, and I'm going to lean towards 1 as my value play here. Oftentimes, you're going to see this in a few of these plays here. I am going with firsters because I've noticed that at Gulfstream, a lot of times firsters are in the mix, and a lot of times they're winning too. You pick the right races, you look for the right firster, and a couple of them one of them popped out here for me. So I'm going up top here for Keen Talent, the 7 horse going 6-1. Best graded firster of the group for me. Strong workouts, Luis Saez on the mount there for Keen Talent coming from Keen Ice. Moving on to race 2 now, shall we? Okay, so for race 2, get my data together here, 25K purse. Got a full field here. Going 8 furlongs, 70 yards, 8 furlongs and 70 yards. That's a mile and 70 yards for those doing the math at home. In terms of pace, there's a lot of horses in here that are going to be setting the pace. For the distance of the race, it does look like a pretty hot pace here. You see all the green there. You see that there's a couple that are dark green set as pace setters. There's a few in there that are pushing the pace. Those are the ones I would expect to be in front. Even some of the blues could be pushing. But the 1, the 8, the 14, if it enters, those are the ones that stuck out to me as being most likely. In terms of the safe play, I'm going to go to the 9 horse at the very top. I've got up there Confer at 7-2. It's going to sit back from this pace, I'm believing. Has a good close, 3 wins in 10 races, 6 times in the money in those 10 races. Best speed figures for the distance and on the surface. So all these things work well for Confer. Paco Lopez on the mount. Paco does well at Gulfstream. For my value play, I'm going down a couple steps there to Don't Get Pickled, the 12 horse sitting at 10-1. Should be close to the pace, but not too close, not pushing it super hard, but maybe 1 to 2 lengths off. 4 times in the money in 10 races. And I like the race times for this horse. For the distance, second only to Confer. So I'm picking those 1 and 2 in terms of the race times, thinking if the race sets up properly, sitting on the outside a little bit, making his proper move there. Don't Get Pickled could end up giving you some pretty strong value here at Gulfstream. Next up, we've got race 3 here. Race 3, we're shortening it up a little bit here in terms of field size. We are going maiden special weight again. And we've got, I count them, 3 firsters out of 7 here. So pace setter, unknown. What I've seen from the 4 horses that have raced, a few are pretty close to the pace, maybe a couple levels off, but with the 3 firsters in there, it's difficult for me to predict anything in terms of pace without one actually sticking out from what we've seen run For my safe play, second time out for Frantic, the one horse, he's my second ranked horse in terms of power figures. 4 to 1 was 3 lengths off of the win last time at 94K purse. So um, we're talking about pretty similar purse here. I think it's the same. Yeah, 94K for this one as well. He's bumped early in that race. So I'm hoping that with the second race coming out, maybe he gets a little bit of a boost here and finds his way in the money, finds his way for a win. Value play, the 7 horse, Benny the Waiter, 6 to 1. Firster for U.S. soil, but this horse did run in Deauville before, got 6th place there. Has John Velasquez on the mount, who I'm showing being the superior jockey to the group here. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a bump because of that. And really, not a lot of the other horses were sticking out to me as much. Even the 6 horse, absolutely not, getting 2 to 1. Wasn't super high on that horse, so I'm going to take a chance here, 6 to 1 on Benny the Waiter. Now we're moving on to the Hutchison, which is in race 4. 6 horses entered into the Hutchison. This is 6 furlongs on dirt, 115K purse. Pace setters, we got 2 that are really sticking out to me, the 5 and the 2. They're the ones that are sitting on top for me here. Rolando and Guns Loaded, who we've seen in a couple of these Derby preps, but definitely sits better as being a sprinter, loves to get out into the front, definitely pushes hard to get to that lead early. But Rolando undefeated at 6 furlongs in 2 races for whatever that's worth. Each time won so convincingly, and I like the final times that this horse is running a little bit better than Guns Loaded. So if I'm going in between those two here, especially getting a little bit of a better value, 5 to 2 versus 9 to 5. I like Rolando here. My value play, I'm gonna have to bump down because there's a 5 to 2, there's a either an 8 to 5 or a 9 to 5, and then there's a 2 to 1. So value you don't even hit until you get to the 4. But I kind of like the four a little bit here. Closed last time out at Tampa Bay Downs for a win at this distance. So showing ability to close and win at 6 furlongs, I think that's pretty important because as you can see here, the pace is definitely setting up to be pretty hot if you get a duel out of those two. We've seen Guns Loaded really go for it in the past. So if Orlando is also game, then yeah, then you could see a horse like Tapir's Valor come in and steal the show at 12 to 1. Definitely a good return on value there. Race 5. We're moving along to race 5. 6.5 furlongs on dirt. Maidens 30K purse pace setter here. We got 3 unknowns, 3 horses that were just off the pace. So I didn't feel comfortable saying that any one of these is going to be pace setter here. I could probably take a guess at one of the blue ones. But for my safe play here, Senior Money at 7 to 2. Best time so far, finish time so far of the horses that have raced twice in the money out of 3. Got closer to the pace last time, which is one of those indicators I look at, especially for maiden horses who have been running 2 to 3 times. If they start to get a little bit closer to the pace, it shows that they're probably finding their way within the race and potentially close to breaking their maiden. Plus, he gets a little bit of a bump here because he got a jockey upgrade to Luis Saez. Value play here, the 2 horse who I've got on top is a firster called Here Tickle. Sit on that for a while. 9 to 2, not huge value, but again, it's a short race or a small race in terms of field size. Look out for the firsters. After the 4, I didn't see a whole lot. So yeah, I looked at this firster, Walsh, Gaffleone, Practical Joke, had good workouts. At the distance of 6.5 furlongs, why not? Why not? You get a good trainer, you get a good sire, you get a good jockey. The workouts have been looking good, and yeah, sitting there at 9 to 2, that might be enough. Wouldn't be surprised if this one actually goes down. People might jump on top of it because I don't think there's been a whole lot shown from some of these other horses other than Senior Money. Race 6. Race 6, we've got scroll. 5 furlongs on the artificial, the Tapita, 33K purse. Pace setter here, Solidarity. I'm also taking him as my safe play at 5 to 2. 5 furlongs. Solidarity looks like the most pace forward horse of the group. 4 times in the money out of 7. Best speed figures of this group. I'm gonna go down 4 spots here to Secret Stash. 8 to 1. I've got Secret Stash as my value play here. Has struggled running in higher level races, higher, bigger value purses, etc., and races of greater distance. So this horse is coming back to 5 furlongs, and that could be enough for this horse to put it together. It's been going into like I think 100K races, and whatnot. Drop down, also drop down in distance after going a mile, 8.5 furlongs, etc. So there you go. Secret Stash at 8 to 1 is my value play. All right, the Captiva Island is race 7. This is the second of 2 stakes races of the day. And the pace setter here, for me, Epona's Hope, is also my safe play at 5 to 2. Very pace forward horse at 5 furlongs on turf. That could be enough to hold up. Getting a jockey upgrade to Joel Rosario, 80% in the money for this horse. Gate to wire, 40%. Median lengths to the winner of the last 5 races is a plus, which means that this horse is is finishing above, is winning most of the time. So at least on average, that is a good proposition there. Epona's Hope is my safe play at 5 to 2, and then going for my value play, Band on a Run, 8 to 1, the 2 horse, 5 races, slight class up for this horse. Last win was at GP though, so surface should not be of an issue. Race times better than the class shows, actually. That's one of the things that jumped out at me, and one of the things that I look for if a horse is classing up. What do the race times look like? How do they look compared to the rest of the group? And they actually look pretty good for me, for Band on a Run. Race 8, once again, pace setter unknown, because we have 2 horses that have run. The rest are firsters. So it'll be an interesting proposition here for a lot of these horses. You get 3 into mischiefs. In this case, I did pick one of those as my safe play. So you can see 3 into mischiefs on top with strong jockeys, and some of the best trainers in this race are on those 3 firsters. So they got a bit of a higher score here than the 2 horses that have had a racing history. So the one I went with is Munya at 9 to 2. Firster into mischief, Brendan Walsh, Tyler Gaffleone, strong workouts. Scored best for me. And honestly, of the 3 firsters I have on top, this is actually the best value at 9 to 2. Why not Munya? Looking for a value play here. Looking for stars, 20 to 1. So I did go with one of the horses that had some race history before. Um, Favorite of my already rans, 4 lengths off of the win in an 8.5 furlong turf race, first time out. Not too bad, actually. Only 4 lengths off, first time out, going much greater distance. This is a 6 furlong race, so dropping down in distance. This is at GP. Also, the finishing time for the winner was 1:42 in that race. So it's a pretty strong 8.5 furlong, actually. 4 lengths off of that. So I'm looking at this horse thinking, okay, I like the times that I've seen from the horse. I realize that there's some big into mischief horses in here, but if any other horse at a value is going to get in the money here at 20 to 1, looking for stars, could be providing that value if he runs to the form he had last race. Race 9. Race 9, we are looking at a claiming race going 7 furlongs on dirt, 23K purse. Pace setter here for me. Got her ranked 4th here as Queen of Soul. Also the 4 horse. My safe play, though, is Classic Ballad at 3 to 1. Jockey upgrade to Junior. Second race off the claim as well, which is an indicator some of us like. Best overall win of the group, a 70K race. And strong speed figures across the board here for the park, for the distance, and for the surface. So real strong grade for me here on Classic Ballad, the 2 horse. My value play, Sil Jim. Really want to say Slim Jim. I mean, do we have a drop for Randy Macho Man Savage? Unfortunately not. It's a failure on my part. But at 5 to 1, race times grayed out as the best of the group, with some closing potential at 7 furlongs. It's borderline whether that actually counts for something. But at the same time, the horse shouldn't be too far back, got a couple tiers off. I mean, you just hope that 7 furlongs is enough for that closing to matter. But 5 to 1, I do like Sil Jim here. Moving on to the next race. We are cruising here. Race 10 coming up. 3 more races to go. We have a deep field here. 16 horses entered in. 12 entered, 4 also eligible. My top play here. Well, first, my pace setter. Going across the board here, 1 horse stuck out at me. 19 amendment, 13th horse, so we would have to draw in order to be the pace setter. After that, if this horse scratches out, pardon me, probably going to be one of the blue horses here that's going to be setting the pace, but I don't have a really good readout on which one of those, so I'm just sticking with 19 amendment for now. My safe play here, getting good value here at 6 to 1. Pharaoh's Wine has done well at the 1 mile distance, especially the last 10 races. Two firsts and a second in the last 10, coming off all G2s as well. So this horse is classing down a bit here at a turf 8 furlong 97K claiming race, optional claimer. My value play here is the 11 horse New Guinea, 8 to 1, 4 wins in the last 10, including the Yaddo handicap. It's a strong closer, which on a turf course, 8 furlongs, you're starting to look for a closer here. Always seems to get at least close. I really like the median lengths to the lead or leading lengths to the winner on New Guinea, especially at 8 to 1. And it seemed to fit okay in terms of value. Yeah, had the best win as well. That was one other thing I was going to point out here. Won a 200K stakes race, which rated out as the best win that any of these horses has had in the last 10 races, their last 10 races. The 11th race, pace setter, we've got a few. Anything you see in green, there's a couple that are in dark green that kind of stick out. The 8 horse and the 2 horse. The 2 horse is actually the one I'm going to go for here for my safe play. So I click over to this race here. Optional claimer going 6 furlongs on dirt, 96K purse. Pleasant Embrace, the 2 horse at 3 to 1, classing up a little bit, but good race times and impressive win rate, 50% in the money, 90% of the time. And that is after 10 races. So pretty strong performance from Pleasant Embrace. Gotta love it. Value play here, I'm going to move over to the left, West Loop, 12 to 1. I really like the finish times in this horse. Monians is a good sire too for 6 furlong racers, classing down, and is a strong closer. So West Loop, I'm not even sure why we're getting 12 to 1 here. It seems like a gift. I think this is going to be a pretty strong play here at in the 1 hole in race 11. And finally, let's wrap up with race 12. The pace setter, Message from the King, in my opinion, the 2 horse is the one that looks like he's going to be setting the pace in this race. A race for maidens, going 8.5 furlongs on turf, 30K purse. My safe play here, I'm going to the 11 again, Chill the J, 4 to 1. Second best race times and second best last race ratings for the group here. Strong closing ability. So I really like Chill the J here on the 11. Value play for me. There you go. This one's just for you, Sean. Sean Patrick Nolan, Spin Nation, loves his Oscar babies. The Great Oscar at 15 to 1. Once again, going for closing ability, twice in the money in 4 races. Closing ability going 8.5 furlongs on turf. You know a closer's going to win this. It's going to be very difficult for a horse to wire the field in this one. So yeah, I'm going for the 7 horse here. The Great Oscar. There you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And hope you're looking forward to Gulfstream Park. As always, do gamble responsibly. I am looking for the closer here. Where did they put it on me? There it is. As always, if you're going to gamble, do gamble responsibly and have a good time.